All right, Coach, another win. You sit at 5-1 at the midway point of the season. Any new thoughts after reviewing the game film from Washington?
Well, I thought our defense played really well and made a very big play on special teams with the touchdown and the block punt. So that was good to see. We ran the ball well. We weren't efficient on third down on offense, so we got some stuff to work on this week and get ready to come home. We're excited that, we went on the road for 4 of the first 6 games, and outside of one screw up, we're 5-1. So time to come back home and be in LA for 5 of the next 6.
The defense has had multiple takeaways in every game this season. Is this the kind of defense you imagined when you came back 3 years ago?
It is, and it's taken us a while to recruit to our scheme, and so it's great to see. And the future's really bright because a lot of those guys are young players.
Do you feel like you trust them as much as you have in 3 years too? I mean, you talked about the third down runs, maybe protecting the quarterback, but also does it play in the fact that you like having your defense out there?
No doubt. It's the first time in 3 years we felt that way, that if we go on the road in a game where we're in a hostile environment like we have in the last 2 weeks, that we can play to our defense at times, and that's what we did, and we got out of there with a win and got out of there pretty healthy.
You have mentioned though that some bigger offenses are coming for this defense. What areas would you like to see them improve as the caliber of talent on the other side increases?
Well, it's going to be the pass defense. We're playing well against the run. We're limiting big pass plays, but we still gave up, 2 in that game Saturday. So we've got to play more consistent there and get the completion percentage down.
Your team had the fewest number of penalties in the Pac-12 last year. It's gone the other direction this year. A lot of the same guys. Are you sort of shaking your head trying to figure out what it is? Does the road games play into that?
Well, that does play part of it. Your average penalties are always going to be up on the road. So we got to do a better job of coaching, and we will this week, and we'll get it fixed.
Silas Redd has become a focal point of this offense. Can you sort of imagine where you'd be without Silas and how important he's become to that unit?
Well, he's been very important, and a big part of the reason that we went to go get him was for these last 2 games. Going on the road in a place that coming into the year has been tough to play. Both of these games, and you never know what the weather was going to be like in these games. So he's played big in both of them.
You talked about after the game about being a little bit conservative with the play calling. Is that something that you want to do, or was that what you felt you needed to do to get the win?
Well, that was the best thing for us to win. That's my job as a head coach, is to put us in the best position to win, and whatever that takes. And it's not as fun as what we're all used to, and I understand some frustration by SC fans. I'd feel the same way, but at the end of the day, we've got to win games.
When you look at the sort of midseason report card, how important is it to put these 6 performances in the context that 4 of them are on the road and you have a backloaded home schedule?
Well, it's very important, to not knock out road games like that early in the year. With your guys that are inexperienced, they're going to screw up, and so we got those out of the way, and now we come home, which is great. Like we said, 5 of 6 in LA, and excited to come back Saturday and that our crowd, would be sold out, and we need our crowd. We've got to put a great product on the field. We've got to create a great home atmosphere and a great energy. I know it's big for these players too down the stretch.
Yeah, talk about what you want to see out of the crowd. I mean, I feel like you've seen some great crowds in the last 3 road games in particular, and how they can affect the teams that you're playing.
Yeah, it affects you a lot, especially on third down. As we've seen, we've had some very critical false starts in some situations the last 2 weeks. Due to us not doing things well, and also a product of the stadium and the crowd noise. So hopefully we'll get that Saturday. Colorado
struggled early this season, but they've been a lot more competitive in the last few games. What's changed?
Well, I think that anytime you have as many injuries as they did in the offseason, it's tough, and they're still new in their new coaching staff, still trying to change things around. But they can also make plays too. They rush the passer well. They've had a lot of sacks this year, so we're going to have a great week of practice.
Obviously, John Emery's not there yet, but what can you see that he's trying to develop as the identity for the Buffaloes?
Well, I think very pro-style systems on offense and defense, and trying to be aggressive on defense as well. I'm sure the personnel is not yet where he wants it to be, and that takes a while. That takes 4 recruiting classes, 4 or 5 to get done. So he's doing a great job.
Any personnel from them that has stood out on tape for you that you're looking at?
Well, they lost their receiver. Obviously, he was a great player last year for him. But I think when you look at defense, I think you look at their pass rush. They're doing a great job, and they're very multiple in their blitzes, and they cause you a lot of issues.
Robert Woods and Matt Barkley are really close to big records. Robert, the USC career catch record, and Matt Barkley, the Pac-12 and USC career touchdown record. If they're able to get it on Saturday, or when they do get it, can you just put how important those records are and their sort of careers in context and how much they've accomplished?
Well, I think both those are going to get broken at some point, whether it's Saturday or not. And one of the kids is in his third year, So I just think we should really appreciate what we're seeing. I've said it before at the beginning of the year with Matt and now with Robert. Appreciate you're seeing a historic place with some of the greatest players to ever play college football, and two of those records going down halfway through a season and halfway through Robert's third season. So it's really remarkable what we're seeing.
You've had a hand in both of them. It's Matt Leinert's record and Dwayne Jarrett's records that are on the line here. You take some pride in that, and at least in knowing how hard it was for those first guys to accomplish it, and then just a few years later, you're seeing two people that are probably going to break them. Yeah,
it just speaks to the players that have been here. Matt Leinart, Heisman Trophy winner, Dwayne Jarrett at one time, playing as well as any player, in college football, just dominating. As you go back to that Rose Bowl, his performance. So it's amazing to have two more guys like that.
All right, big home week, Coach. Look forward to a Coliseum sold-out crowd on Saturday. Thanks a lot.
I hear you. Thank you.